So, hallo, herzlich willkommen zurück zu Let's Play Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. Und was soll ich sagen, wir werden jetzt plötzlich, nachdem wir eigentlich schon eine ganze Menge Hinweise und sowas gefunden haben, von Kirikiri angesprochen. Und die fragt, ob wir noch eine Sekunde Zeit haben. Und ja, ich denke, da schauen wir doch einfach mal, was die gute Dame zu sagen hat, während mein Stuhl vor sich hin knarzt. Moment. Hm? I want you to help me with the investigation.
It would seem...
It looks like I got a late start on this one, so I need to make up some ground. Sure, I don't mind helping, but can you promise me something? Later, when we have time, will you tell me why you disappeared?
Why is that?
No. To reject me so simply.
Anyway...
Anyway, I need your help. You don't mind, do you? Okay.
Shall we go?
Thanks. Now then, shall we?
Hey,
So, Makoto, first I'd like to examine the corpses. Examine the corpses? I can't believe I'm hearing that from a girl the same age as me.
correct.
Dead bodies don't lie, you know. They tell the truth far more easily than the living.
Hey,
Wouldn't you agree? How am I supposed to answer?
anyway...
Anyway, we have to hurry before the class trial begins again. Yeah, you're right. Okay then, show me where the bodies are. They're in the repository. Then I guess we should head that way for now. Also geht's aufwärts. Ja, Moment, das war dann da durch. Oder was hier? Nee. Verdammt, Orientierung. Ah, es war doch da. Ah, ich bin dran vorbeigerannt. Hier habe ich es doch richtig im Kopf gehabt, dass es hier irgendwo so einen Seitengang gab. Ach. So. Von hier aus finde ich den Weg. Einmal hier rein. So, Kyoko, dann schau dir mal die Leichen an. Hifumi and Taka. For a moment, Kyoko seemed to go rigid. But only for a moment.
So then...
Well then, let's get started. She crouched down next to Taka and without hesitation began poking and prodding the bodies.
I knew it.
The Monokuma file was right. They were killed using similar weapons. Her movements were so smooth. She was so calm. Seeing how comfortable she was actually made me feel a little more comfortable. Okay, was hast du rausgekriegt?
I see.
Makoto, I found something. You did?
Hey,
You remember the wristwatch Taka always wore on his left hand? He did.
whew.
Are you so oblivious to Are you so oblivious to the people around you? Do you dislike other people that much? No, that's not it. Anyway, so you said he had a watch.
So then...
Take a look. It's broken. You can see the hands aren't moving, right? It most likely broke when he had his encounter with his assailant. And if you notice, the hands are frozen just past 6 o'clock. So that would mean the watch was broken sometime just after 6?
That's right.
But last night, Taka's watch definitely wasn't broken. Hey you, how long were you gonna keep us waiting? Taka's irritated voice pierced the air as he started pointedly at his wristwatch. Scheißwort, wristwatch. It's almost 10 o'clock, you know that? Bad time for all the little boys and girls.
In other words...
So it worked at least at 10 last night. It couldn't have been broken at 6 p.m. Meaning it must have happened at 6 this morning. Broken wristwatch has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook.
However...
And that's not all. Look at Taka's left hand. He appears to be gripping something. You're right, there's something white in there.
Makoto.
Can you try and pry it out? Me?
Because...
Rigor mortis has already set in. Boys are better suited to this kind of manual labor, right? Okay. As much as I didn't want to, I grasped Taka's cold hand. Rigor Mortis ist Leichenstarre. Und ich möchte kurz sagen, auch eine Frau sollte eine Männerhand in Leichenstarre öffnen können, aber gut. The ice-cold hand was nearly enough to cause my heart to stop beating. After some effort, I was finally able to free the object from his tightly clenched fist. A piece of paper?
Hey,
Was that all he had in his hand? Yeah, that's it. Just a little scrap of paper. Doesn't seem like much of a clue, does it?
is that right?
I wonder about that. Kyoko then turned to Hifumi's body.
So then,
Let's check Hifumi's body now. Perhaps he's left us a few clues of his own. Kiyotaka's scrap of paper. Ja. So, did you find anything?
indeed.
I did. More than I expected, to be honest. Look at this. A wad of paper?
That's right.
Hifumi had it hidden on him. Hidden?
Indeed.
He'd stuffed it in his pants, so I can only assume he'd hidden it on purpose, you see? In his pants? Wait, so you...
Why is that?
It was just his pants, not like his socks or something. I don't know what that means.
Hey,
Anyway, let's take a look at the paper. Go ahead, Makoto. Open it up. When I think of how it was stuffed down his pants, it's like... It better be important, Hifumi, or I'll never forgive you for this. A note? I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 AM.
so...
That sounds very familiar. That's it. It's the same thing Hiro said. Then he was telling us the truth.
However,
Although it's not exactly the same, is it? Last night someone slipped a weird note under my door. And here's what it said. I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 AM. The time is different. Hiro told us that his note said to meet at 1 AM. But the note they wrote to Hifumi asked him... No, but the note they wrote to Hifumi asked him to meet at 6 AM.
is that right?
Hold on, just because Hifumi had the note doesn't mean it was meant for him. Huh?
So...
Part of it has been torn off, right? I think there's likely some meaning there. There's some meaning to part of it being ripped. Could you maybe explain it a little more? Think carefully.
Hey,
Why would he have been clutching that scrap of paper so tightly? I have no idea.
so then...
What if it wasn't just a scrap of paper when he was holding it? What if it was something more important? And how would something important like that become a mere scrap of paper? That's what you need to answer. Also das ist wohl ziemlich simpel, der hat wohl den Zettel gehalten und den hat jemand wegreißen wollen.
Hey,
And while we're at it, I should tell you one other thing. The two victims this time definitely had their e-handbooks on them. So the handbooks have nothing to do with how the murders were carried out. Not that there was any reason to think they were connected to the killings in the first place. So you're saying I don't have to think about the handbooks this time, right?
is that right?
If you didn't have to think about them at all, I wouldn't have gone out of my way to mention it. All I said was that they weren't used to help carry out the murders. There may come a point, however, where a handbook may play a role. A handbook may play a role? I don't think I understand. But if Kyoko thinks it's important, I'd better keep it in mind. E-Handbook has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook. Und damit ist die Zeit wohl vorbei, die warten.
Are you excited? Are you pumped? It's time for the class trial to begin! Like the bright burst of fireworks, like the flash of a soul clashing with life and death. And so, with no further ado, everyone please meet at the usual spot. Make your way to the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon!
It would seem...
It's unfortunate, but I suppose this is where our investigation comes to an end. You'll have to figure out the rest for yourself and come to the proper conclusion. Yeah, you're right.
Shall we go?
Well, we'd better get going. Okay. Ja, ich trinke kurz einen Schluck Wasser und dann können wir durch die Tür gehen. Everyone had heard Monokuma's proclamation and they were gathered by the red door. And as soon as we were all there...
Monokuma appears!
What?
Hello! Hello! Hello!
He's multiplied!
Wrong!
Nope, not multiplication. It just looks that way because of an illusion. I'm moving so fast it only looks like I've multiplied. Can you guys tell which one is the real Monokuma?
Can we just get on the elevator already?
Boy, tough crowd.
You're not playing along. Along.
Stop talking.
We're not here to play with you.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Hey!
Then if everyone's here and ready to go, please board the pain train, or elevator. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
Okay, then, shall we?
Please!
Hold on, I'm not mentally prepared yet.
What the heck?
You'll never be mentally prepared. You can't just run away anymore, Hiro. You're gonna pay for your sins.
What the heck?
I told you already I didn't do it, for serious. That reminds me, did you ever find the other costume? Or the note? Well, no, but... How unfortunate, then it would seem we have a culprit.
Hey,
This isn't the place to talk about it. Save your accusations for when we get to the courtroom.
That's right.
She's right. Let's get down there first. Then the story can really begin. Yeah, good idea. That's right. I have to do it. I can't let whoever killed Hifumi and Taka get away with it. For everyone who's still alive, and for the two that lost their lives. The one who killed Hifumi and Taka. The one who killed two of our friends. The killer is... someone right here. Sprechen wir noch kurz mal mit allen, bevor es runtergeht.
Damn. I don't like Monokuma's carefree attitude.
just the worst.
Let's hurry up and go so we can make Hiro pay for his crimes.
Were you listening? Wait till we get to the courtroom to begin our arguing. It would appear the culprit has been confirmed. This trial will be over in no time.
Hey,
The story begins when we get down there. It wasn't me, you gotta believe me.
Yes.
Come on, Big Mac, let's do it.
Und da, jetzt mal eure Vermutung vielleicht, wer könnte es sein von denen hier? Wir haben insgesamt noch 7 Verdächtige. Legen wir los. I took one last deep breath and exhaled slowly. I began to walk towards the elevator. Once everyone was aboard, the doors closed on their own, and the steel box began to move. The clunking of the elevator kept us company as we fell further and further down. There was no going back. Until we settled all this, we couldn't go anywhere. I'm not sure how long it was before the elevator finally came to a stop. The elevator doors slid open, opening up onto a cruel fate.
When I see all of you gathered together like this, I realize just how few of you there are left. Your school life is slowly reaching its climax.
just the worst.
Only because of you.
Why are you making us do such cruel things to each other?
What?
What? Do you really hate me so much? But I'm so cute!
Come on.
Stop goofing around and begin the trial.
Don't rush me. Of course I'm gonna start it. I would never be like, stay tuned for the action-packed class trial after this commercial break. I'd never hold I'd never hold out on you like that. Okay, let's begin. Get to your assigned seats.
And so the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. Yep, wir speichern. So. Set Skills ist eine Idee. Extraordinary Focus haben wir schon. Man merkt, es gibt eine ganze Menge Skills, die wir nicht haben. Ambidextrousness können wir noch dazu packen. Allows you to lock onto 2 statements at once. Effective during the bullet time battle. Das ist extrem praktisch. Finish preparations. Kann losgehen. Trial all rise.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one...
Übrigens, der Begriff Whodunit ist auch eine Sache, die man gerne als so eine Art Genre bei Krimis und sowas hat. Whodunit ist immer so die Grundidee, es muss rausgefunden werden, wer es war. Es gibt aber auch zum Beispiel Varianten, wo man schon weiß, wer der Mörder ist und nur zusieht. Und daraus eine ganz andere Spannung entsteht. Also Whodunit ist aber so eine ganz klassische Variante und das hier fällt definitiv in diese Kategorie.
Then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Now then, to begin with...
We already know who did it.
Was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit. Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
I didn't. Someone knocked me out. I was asleep the whole time. I don't know anything about it.
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Who are you calling a murderer?
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprint for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it. And all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling. It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know.
Is Hiro really the killer? Or before anything else, we have to make that clear. So, dann schauen wir mal, was die Leute jetzt zu sagen haben. Ich lasse wie immer das einmal komplett durchlaufen.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff. It's not true. It's a conspiracy.
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No! Just hold on a second.
I mean, looking at the blueprints, that handwriting is awful messy. If I remember right, Hiro's handwriting is...
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough
Kacke.
that you are the
Mist.
culprit.
Okay, ich muss einmal durchlaufen lassen.
It's not true. Hiro, wow.
Da war dieses Drecksding im Weg. Okay.
Everything we found, the blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough.
Nope.
No, it's wrong.
Are we sure Hiro really made those blueprints?
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hiro wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them. Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on! I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
And he's not the only one. I think Hiro's innocent as well.
What? Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit? Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
And of course he passes it off to me.
So? Who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
The suspicious individual in question, the one that must have been in the suit? China, die Illuminati. Nee, es geht nur einer.
I got it! Other than Hiro, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit, and we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hiro is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hiro didn't do it.
It makes perfect sense. Hiro was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
What? Now that's a bold assumption. And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around!
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body. It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
The things that were used to move Taka's body. They must have been... Yeah, those.
I got it!
There's still one more thing. The things that were used to move Taka's body, they must have been... Ja, Blue Tarp muss es auch sein. Sonst ist hier nichts Passendes. Okay.
I got it! They were a dolly and a tarp, right?
What's with the attitude?
So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room, and then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that up until then was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body, am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway. We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
Wow, I've never had anyone sound so nice while being so mean. But maybe I can change her mind. If I can just explain to them why the dolly must have been moved from the equipment room to the repository. A new element has been added to bullet time battles. Would you like to hear more? Let's talk about reloading. Starting with this next bullet time battle, we're gonna add one more ingredient to the recipe. On the bottom of the screen underneath the tempo marker you see your ammo count. Up until now there hasn't really been a limit on how you destroy your opponent's statements. But from now on, just locking on and pressing the Y button won't be enough to handle them. Now it will cost you 1 bullet to destroy a single remark. Once you run out of bullets, you can't destroy any more statements no matter how locked on you are. However, you can reload by pressing the X button. Just like locking on, you'll have to press the X button in time with the tempo marker. Basically, just remember that the X button now has a function along with the A and Y buttons. You will automatically reload at the start of fever time and your ammo will not decrease. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, you won't have to reload at all. In which case you can ignore everything I just said. Well then, good luck and have fun. So. Warum auf einmal die auch so vehement dagegen ist?
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool.
Aber ich sehe nichts mehr.
Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you.
Okay, hat doch noch geschafft, okay.
I cannot agree.
This should prove it.
Es ist eigentlich ziemlich offensichtlich.
If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here. When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room. And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Jeez, does Celeste really hate me that much?
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Ja, Byakuya, das machen wir aber in der nächsten Folge. Hehe, Cliffhanger. Ich hoffe, ihr habt Spaß, das konstruktive Kritik, vielleicht ein Däumchen nach oben da. Wir sehen uns beim nächsten Mal wieder. Ach ja, und eine Sache, die ich in den Podcasts immer wieder erwähne. Es gibt inzwischen auch, falls Leute mich tatsächlich mal finanziell unterstützen wollen, inzwischen so ein paar Links zu Tipjars und Patreon und sowas. Wenn ihr das möchtet, könnt ihr das mal machen, aber muss halt keine Sau tun. Ändert auch nichts an meinem Programm. Einfach nur, dass ich es auch hier mal erwähne. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Cheerio!